think largely in my whole music life, I have been. It's just been kind of. I'd pick up pieces. It's like lots of scattered pieces, and as far as trying to make any sense, so that um, like I could lots of examples like transposing music. I was lost on that, and now I do it. I mean, I do it all the time. I don't think too much about it. It's pretty easy.
Why not?
Um, but I was a noodler.
Mm-hmm.
I noodled around, and it has a positive part to it, but it also can make you spend a lot of time doing something that doesn't really get you.
Uh-huh.
Or in my estimation, I mean, yeah, I can play some pretty stuff that people like and all, but then what next? You
Mm.
know, uh, so
Right, right. Yeah.
um, I didn't have the structure of practicing. I really I
Right
did
on.
not. Yeah. I mean, I knew one pentatonic scale, and I kind of knew it's about five notes. I knew that, but I didn't know about the major versus minor part of it, and I didn't know. I guess I had heard that there were other pentatonic patterns, but I didn't know them. And
Right.
you don't
So,
know what you don't know
yeah,
because
that's
you're not
right.
because you're not being trained. One of the biggest things that comes to my mind is I have choices.
Mm-hmm.
I can choose to implement something that I didn't know anything about before.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't know if I should mention specific things here,
Oh,
but
totally, totally, please.
okay. But the pentatonics for certain and the archetypes, but also which I've really got a lot of work to do in that area.
Mm-hmm.
But that's okay because I know what I'm going after now.
It's
Uh,
good to know what you have to work on, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and they're not that hard to me. Bends, I've been bending strings, and I generally, can fall on on the note pretty well. I've been blessed with a pretty good ear. Um, but the triad pairs and and the modes, I've really got a lot of work to do in those areas because they are just beautiful
Mm-hmm.
to me. They open up so many possibilities for melody, a good way to harmonize, which
Yeah.
I didn't even use those words much in the past, I'll say.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But no, I'm
So
stoked about it.
having options, right?
Yeah.
What you said is like some people think that improvising just means that scramble something together and
Oh yeah.
improvise, right? But
Yeah. And yeah.
but so
I'm
having options, so that's a more that sounds like having a plan, like you having more of a plan how to improvise.
yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
I wrote a little song once. It's pretty great to me. It's and I actually named it "Make It Up as I Go,"
uh-huh.
and that's the way I've done improv. I just make it up as I go.
Right, right, right.
Which being able to choose one from column A and column B, and that's going to sound good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's that. There's power in that.
Right on.
The part that should have been the easiest funky slide groove.
I
Really,
remember.
it's really not hard if you just follow the instructions. If you, I mean, yeah, I don't know if you ever built anything and didn't follow the instructions.
I mean, I was just saying one word, IKEA.
Yeah,
You know, and then you
but
put the thing together and you just didn't pay close attention. So you're
yeah,
almost done, and then you realize that part should have been flipped the other way around, and you
oh
have to
yeah,
take everything apart.
oh yeah, oh that's so not fun. Yeah,
Yeah, so it's kind of like that, right?
yeah, it is. But like, I mean, that's on my list of things to do is to go. I can play that anytime.
Hmm.
I- it's not hard, but it was all about really the rhythm and just being tight. Just keep going.
Hmm.
Just
Hmm.
no stopping. Just go.
Yeah.
And basically, and I hadn't read tablature before either. It was real.
Hmm.
I was like, oh my gosh, this seems so slow to me.
Uh-huh.
But the reality, it's everything has sped up in a way, and another way. Yeah, I know you know. It's kind of slowed down. It's like, oh, this is, tablature is easy now.
Right on.
It was intimidating, and
Uh-huh.
so
Uh-huh.
so
Yeah, and lots of it is also the coordination part, right? Like
yeah,
the funky slide, yeah. Because you
yeah,
already had good time. It was not like your
yeah,
timing,
yeah,
but the coordination between both hands
yeah,
and then looking at the tablature and
yeah,
then listening to the metronome, right? And then
yeah.
recording yourself on video, all that combined,
Oh yeah,
was a challenge. It
yeah.
sounds like,
I
yeah.
was intimidated. I really was, and now I'm like, that is so easy. It is. And it's got I can see the feel of it is really good now. It's
Right
not,
on. Yeah.
but I still do that all the time. And in part I do it to say, see something you thought was really hard is not. So I tell myself when I approach new tasks and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
I don't go into this mindset anymore.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's meaningful. I used to coach basketball
Mm-hmm.
for boys between 10 and 12 years old. And this is a real quick thing, but I still play basketball with young men down at we have a park down here. But at any rate, one quick thing. This
Yeah.
sounds so ridiculously simple, and a lot of people don't give this any thought. But like, if I want to bounce past the basketball to you, if that basketball hits the ground 2/3 of the way to you, no matter how far apart you are, that ball will land right here in your stomach every time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a simple rule, but it's so effective. You get a team that can bounce past good. That's just one of many things.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned that from maybe the greatest basketball coach of all time, and that's John Wooden of UCLA.
Mm-hmm.
And I just got his book and I got his videos, and I was like, okay, we'll see what happens. We had a pretty good team.
Right on.
Yeah. So, but it's a basic thing. It's the
Just a
fun.
little foundation, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's it. So these tasks, I don't look at any of them as not important at all. I'm like, this is going to teach me something.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah. And so I wasn't paying attention to tablature because I was intimidated by it. But the funky slide groove, when I saw, oh, that's actually four hits on that note, when you come
Mm-hmm.
back through the middle time, when you go back to, but anyway, I won't
Yeah,
play
yeah.
it.
Just the little details. No, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. If my acoustic guitar player buddy, he's over here strumming away, and instead of me duplicating what he's doing,
Mm-hmm.
I can go into these beautiful up the neck triads, and it just sounds so complimentary, and people actually come up and say, that was pretty.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's working. This works. And
Yeah.
it just has a good feel about it too.
Mm-hmm.
And then to go further on the triad pairs, it taught me to take these chords and break the notes out individually and just be all melodic. And I'm like, okay, this is going to be something else because I'm not there yet, but
Right, right.
but I got an idea of what's up ahead, and I like it. Now I'm like, okay, I got some tools in my toolbox to approach this thing, you know. It's not like going out on your car to work on your car and you don't have the right wrench. I'm like, I got the wrenches.
Yeah. You might not know what the future problem is of your car, but you know
Yeah,
that the tools are in the toolbox.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I'm
yeah,
getting it, man. I just keep adding stuff, and I watch the other classmates do things, and I'm like, it's working.
hmm
It's working for them too. I see it, and it is a transformation. It's a great name
yeah,
because that's what happens.
yeah.
There's a plan. There is a plan that someone with experience, your knowledge of the fretboard, and your feels still. I mean, the artistic side of it, the creative side of it. We can tap into that, and it's sort of laid out in front of us if we will and get these foundational skills in us and let the transformation happen. Just put the effort in, practice, and you'll see something instead of trying to find a video where you're chasing after some skill over here, but look at all the stuff you're passing, that would work together with it. You know, I'm so glad. I am just so I'm so glad, and I see the other people in the class. Everybody's game is being elevated. I'm like, this works.